All right, well, there are entrepreneurs, and then there's Anthony Temple. The Mission Valley business owner did not know how to read and write until he was in his 20s, and now he's setting the example for people of color on how they can be their own boss. This Black History Month, we are doing some barbershop talk, as I like to call it, with Temple, who not only is setting the example, but teaching others to do the same.
I'm cleaning up.
We're in the chairs, and the capes are on. Now it's time for a cut and conversation.
Coming out of Chicago, it was rough. You know, it's so much police brutality. You know, I've been a victim of it. And, you know, it's like, man, okay, what do we do about it? What is the solution? And, you know, the work that I'm doing is to be a part of, you know, the solution.
41-year-old Chicago native Anthony Temple says one of the best ways to minimize the trauma African Americans face is through ownership.
Because the more ownership we have, the louder our voice becomes, because then it becomes more effective because we're an asset.
We're sitting in his barbershop in Mission Valley Mall.
See how it fits, if you like it, and then we'll go from there.
That sits right next to his jewelry store.
So this is where, you know, we do like our repairs, stone settings.
That sits right next to his cigar and wine company.
I wanted to do something that I typically don't see, you know, African Americans doing. So that way that there's a blueprint to go off of, so that I can share the information to, you know, show them what the licensing process looks like.
He built his businesses ground up, literally. It's all pretty impressive for someone who couldn't read and write until age 22.
Public school systems, they failed me, and I didn't have anyone to really identify what the problem was. And once I learned how to read and write, then that just took me to the next level because I read every book about business that I could possibly read, and that's where my success came from.
It sounds like you got 10, 20 businesses. When people ask you, what do you say?
I just tell them I'm a serial entrepreneur. That's what I tell them.
Now this serial entrepreneur is writing books and doing podcasts.
You know, you want to be paying attention to.
Trying to teach and mentor the next generation, including his recently promoted manager of his wine company. He met Johnny Porter online at just 18 years old.
I went straight to the comment section and hope for the best.
When you start mentoring somebody, what are you looking for?
Consistency, integrity, to know that they're, you know, just knowing that they're serious about their life, you know, and that they want to change, that they want a difference, you know, and sometimes, you know, people, they just need the opportunity shown to them.
Take the man behind this Red Cup kiosk, for example. Temple met him selling stuff on the beach and decided to help him get established.
Certain people, sometimes, unfortunately, they don't want to give information, you know, not just because they don't want to see you succeed, it's just sometimes they just are thinking only for self.
And that mentorship is now available to anyone who walks by his section of Mission Valley Mall.
Young black kids, they walk by and they say, man, you're the owner, and they're intrigued. And they say, how did you do this? Like, you own this, and they can't believe it. So, you know, when they ask the questions, you know, that's the thing that, you know, I feel that, man, this approach is working.
He is just multiplying his businesses day by day. And it's just a great representation for black kids and minorities in general.
To get the exposure to see that as much as possible, to be able to envision themselves in, you know, in those same shoes. Thank you.
The goal in this part of the mall, to make ownership a regular part of barbershop talk.
People ask me all the time, why do you do so much? Why is it that you're doing all of this? Because I have to have a sense of urgency for my people, for the community, because others have plowed the snow for us to walk through as black men, to be able to have more opportunities, so we have to pay it forward.
And thank you for paying it forward, Anthony. Well, he says he already employs more than 30 people, but is always looking to add more folks to the Temple family.